Let me tell you something, anyone can start. That's the easy part. The world is full of starters. People love beginnings, new diets, new jobs, new relationships, new goals. And when we start, we feel good. We feel unstoppable. Everyone is clapping, we're posting it online, and we're fired up with motivation. But here's the truth. The starting line is a party, but go look at the finish line. It's quiet, it's empty, because most people don't make it that far. Why? Because finishing requires what? Starting doesn't sacrifice grit and endurance. Starting rides on emotion, finishing is built on character. Look at a marathon. Thousands gather at the start, full of energy and adrenaline. But go wait at mile 20. Go wait at mile 26. The crowd's thinner. The smiles are gone. That's where the real test begins. That's where you find the difference between hype and heart. Now, I want you to ask yourself a hard question. How many goals have you left half done? How many times have you started something with fire in your chest and then walked away when it got heavy? Let's be real. Look around your life. Maybe it's that business idea that's still in your notes app. Maybe it's the fitness journey that lasted a month. Maybe it's that book you said you'd write, but never touched again after chapter 1. We've all been there. But here's the danger. Every time you quit, you teach yourself that quitting is okay. You create a pattern, and that pattern becomes who you are. We live in a world of broken promises, not to others, but to ourselves. And that's the most dangerous kind. Because when you stop trusting your own word, you stop believing in your ability to change. You stop believing that this time could be different. People will celebrate you when you start. They'll like your post. They'll comment, you got this. But when it gets quiet, when the applause fades and the days get long, that's when most people disappear. You see, the world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards completion. Nobody remembers who started building the tallest skyscraper. They remember who finished it. Think about it. Have you ever heard of a best-selling book that was almost written? Have you ever seen a trophy handed out for almost winning? Halfway doesn't make history. Almost doesn't leave a legacy. We live in a culture that idolizes potential. But let me tell you, potential without completion is wasted energy. It's talent left to rot. It's the dream that dies in the desert because the builder gave up before reaching the oasis. Here's the scary part. Quitting doesn't just end a project. It builds an identity. The first time you quit, it stings. The second time, it hurts a little less. By the third time, it starts to feel normal. Eventually, you don't even start things anymore because deep down, you believe you'll quit anyway. Let me say that again. If you quit enough, you become a quitter. And it's not just about the goal. It leaks into how you show up in your job, your relationships, your health, your mindset. You start shrinking your life to match your habits instead of expanding it to match your vision. Look at your past. Do you see that pattern? If so, it's time to break it. Most people finish about 80% of things. That's the sweet spot where it still looks like progress, but the pain of finishing starts to kick in. That's where motivation dies. And discipline is supposed to take over. But for most people, that's where they stop. The 80% club is where dreams go to stall. It's the gym membership that ends in February. It's the side hustle that fades by spring. It's the I'll get back to it soon promise. That turns into 5 years gone. This message is a wake-up call. If that's you, if you're in the 80% club, I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to live there anymore. You can cross the finish line. You can be the one who didn't quit. You can be the exception, but it starts now. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, right now. Because the truth is simple. You don't need more talent. You don't need more time. You need to make a decision. You need to finish what you started. Let me tell you something. Comfort is not your friend. It whispers soft lies that keep you stuck. It tells you you've done enough. It says take a break. You deserve it. But what it really wants is for you to stay small, stay quiet, and stay average. Comfort is like a warm blanket on a cold morning. You know, you should get up, get moving, chase what matters. But comfort convinces you to hit snooze once, twice, 10 times. Before you know it, the day's gone, the dream's faded, the momentum is dead. You don't grow inside comfort. You rot there. Every person you admire, every leader, every athlete, every entrepreneur, they didn't get there by choosing what felt easy. They chose pain over pleasure, growth over comfort, the uncomfortable road, again and again. You can either chase comfort or chase greatness, but you can't have both. You think fear is your enemy, but it's not chasing you, it's freezing you. Fear is the invisible anchor holding you in place. You want to move, but it whispers all the worst outcomes. What if I fail? What if I'm judged? What if I'm not good enough? Let me tell you something, everyone feels fear. The people who finish, the ones who cross the line, they feel it too. They just move through it. Nelson Mandela said, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. That's what this takes. Not fearlessness, but fear domination. And here's the truth, most of the things you fear never happen. The real damage, it comes from what fear stops you from doing. Think about the job you didn't apply for, the speech you didn't give, the opportunity you didn't take. Not because you couldn't, but because fear won. Let me speak directly to the perfectionists out there. You think your problem is high standards, but that's not the real issue. Perfectionism is just fear in disguise. You don't want to finish because once it's done, you open yourself up to judgment. You say it's not ready yet, but what you really mean is, I'm scared it won't be good enough. Here's the truth. Done beats perfect every single time. Think about all the rough ideas that changed the world. The first iPhone wasn't perfect. The first draft of every best-selling novel, messy. What made them great wasn't flawlessness, it was that they shipped. Perfection keeps your dream locked in the basement. Execution brings it to life. You're not here to impress, you're here to finish. You're here to grow. And you can't grow from something you never finish. Accountability isn't just about having someone check in. It's about who you are when nobody's looking. The gym is empty. The office is quiet. The lights are off. Do you still show up? Because real discipline is built in the shadows, in the quiet moments when it's just you and your goals. No applause, no spotlight, no one cheering. This is where most people quit because they only move when someone's watching. They only grind when it's visible. They live for validation instead of transformation. Let me be clear. True progress is private before it's public. Kobe Bryant shot free throws at 4 a.m. alone. No cameras, just obsession. Greatness is forged in that kind of silence, that kind of focus. So ask yourself, when nobody's clapping, do you still commit? We live in a world obsessed with new strategies, new hacks, new apps. But here's the truth, you don't need something new. You need to master what you already know. We confuse knowledge with execution. We think more information will lead to transformation. But most of the time, we're just hiding behind learning to avoid doing. You don't need a new routine. You need to show up for the old one. You don't need another breakthrough idea. You need to grind the one you already have. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb in one genius flash. He failed over 1,000 times. That wasn't brilliance, it was grit. It was showing up again and again and again, even when it wasn't working. That's what you're missing, not knowledge, not strategy. Consistency, hunger, grit. Grit is finishing when motivation dies. Grit is going the extra lap when your legs want to stop. Grit is doing it again tomorrow, no matter how you feel today. Let me tell you something, most people don't want to hear you don't need more motivation. You need to make a decision. Motivation is a mood. It comes and goes. It's like the weather good today, gone tomorrow. But decisions hold power. Decisions anchor your actions regardless of how you feel. Some people are waiting for the right moment to commit, the right mood, the right energy. But what if that moment never comes? Look around you. How many people do you know who are waiting to feel ready and are still waiting? Winners don't wait to feel like it. They show up because they've decided that finishing matters more than feeling. When you really decide, something shifts. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop listening to your feelings. You move forward no matter what. Because the truth is this, you don't need to feel it to finish it. You need to choose it and then fight for it. What you tolerate, you repeat. Think about the last time you said it's fine, even when it wasn't. Think about the last time you let yourself off the hook with, I'll do it tomorrow. Let me break it down for you. What you tolerate in your life becomes your standard. If you tolerate slacking off, you'll keep slacking off. If you tolerate quitting at 70%, guess what? That becomes your threshold. And the worst part, the more you repeat it, the more it becomes who you are. You become the person who gives up, the one who delays, the one who never quite makes it to the end. That's not a mindset. That's a trap. Excellence isn't about being perfect. It's about refusing to tolerate anything less than your best. It's about refusing to let your lower self win. If you want different results, raise your standards. Raise what you demand of yourself, especially when no one's watching. Because what you tolerate today becomes your identity tomorrow. Let's get real for a second. Look back at the last 6 months, the last year, the last 5 years. What do you see? A list of half-finished projects, broken promises, great ideas that went nowhere? That's not just a coincidence. It's a pattern. And patterns create your story. We all live out patterns. Some are conscious, most are not. But here's the thing, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. You have to confront the hard truth. Your actions are creating your future, one unfinished chapter at a time. And if you don't disrupt that pattern, it will keep repeating until it becomes permanent. Do you want your story to be one of almost and maybes? Or one of fire, follow through, and legacy? You can rewrite it, but only if you're honest enough to see what's been playing on repeat. Because awareness is the first step to transformation. But action is what breaks the loop. This isn't just about a goal, it's about who you're becoming. This moment isn't just about finishing a goal. It's about finishing the old version of you, the one who settled, the one who hesitated, the one who backed down every time things got hard. Every goal you set, every race you start, it's a mirror that shows you who you are right now and who you have the potential to become. And let's be clear, you're not chasing a checklist, you're chasing transformation. Finishing what you start isn't about applause. It's not about proving people wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you are who you said you were. You're becoming someone who keeps promises, someone who owns their story, someone who finishes strong. Because when you finish this goal, you don't just win a moment. You win momentum. You build belief. You build you. This is your line in the sand. Right now. Not next week, not next year, now. You've danced with the idea long enough. You've talked about potential long enough. You've sat with excuses, fear, and comfort long enough. It's time to choose. Not based on emotion, based on mission. This is the moment where you cross from being a dreamer to a doer. From the one who almost did to the one who actually did. From the one who once started to the one who finally finished. Because let's be honest, nobody else is coming to push you across the line. You are the push. You are the reason. You are the turning point. Draw that line. Step over it. Don't look back. Let me tell you something. You weren't made to dabble. You weren't born to be kind of committed halfway in or almost done. You were built to close. Dabblers bounce from idea to idea. They start fast and fizzle faster. They chase the next shiny thing, never finishing the first one. But finishers lock in. They don't chase emotions, they chase execution. If you're gonna change your life, you gotta change your identity. You gotta stop saying, I'm trying, and start declaring, I finish what I start. Because once you believe you're a closer, you act like one. Michael Jordan didn't just take shots. He finished games. Serena Williams didn't just show up. She closed sets, tournaments, seasons. Closers don't talk about someday, they live for the last step, the final round, the finish line. And if you're gonna rise, that mindset has to be yours. No more starting for the thrill. You're here to finish for the legacy. Let's make this clear, talk is cheap. Excuses are fluent in every language. I'm tired. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. But action speaks louder than every excuse you'll ever make. You know who finishes? The one who doesn't make excuses when it rains. The one who doesn't stop when it hurts. The one who doesn't pause because no one's cheering. Finishers are fluent in effort, not explanation. You don't need a perfect schedule. You need commitment. You don't need 10 reasons why it's hard. You need one reason why it matters. When you shift from excuse mode to execution mode, you stop explaining your limits and start expanding your capacity. You don't say, I can't. You say, watch me. You say you're tired, but are you really? Or are you just untrained in the art of doing things you don't feel like doing? Because let's be honest, discipline is a muscle, and most people never train it. That's why every small challenge feels like exhaustion. That's why pushing past average feels impossible. But guess what? Your body isn't broken. Your mindset is just soft. People say, I'm too exhausted to keep going. But these same people can scroll a phone for 3 hours, watch Netflix until midnight, binge videos when they're too tired to move. You're not drained, you're distracted. Discipline isn't about never feeling tired. It's about showing up tired and doing the work anyway. The Navy SEALs have a rule. When you think you're done, you're only 40% done. The rest is still inside you, waiting for you to stop lying to yourself. You want to finish? Then build the muscle of doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. You don't build a legacy on dreams. You build it on daily wins. Big goals are great, but they're only achieved through small, consistent actions stacked one on top of another like bricks forming a wall. Every day you show up and do the thing, that's a win. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, that's a win. Every time you push through instead of giving in, that's a win. And those wins, they compound. One day you look back and realize you didn't just try, you transformed. Don't focus on the mountain, just take the next step. Don't obsess over the outcome, win the day. Because if you can stack 7 good days, you can build a week. Stack 4 of those, you got a month. Stack 12, you've got a year of momentum and change. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the flame that keeps burning when the spark is going. And most people, they chase motivation like it's fuel, but it burns out fast. If you build your life around motivation, you'll never finish anything that matters. Because the days it doesn't show up, you don't either. But discipline is the fire you light with your own hands. It's cold outside, still show up. You feel off today, still execute. No one's applauding, still finish. Because here's the truth. Motivated people start things. Disciplined people finish them. And when your time is up, when the people around you talk about your legacy, they won't remember how excited you were on day 1. They'll remember that you followed through on day 100 when no one else did. They'll remember that you finished when others faded. That's what discipline builds a legacy that outlives the moment. Let me tell you something about pain. It's not a wall, it's a doorway. And if you keep stopping at the first sign of discomfort, you'll never know what's waiting on the other side. Pain isn't punishment, it's part of the process. You think champions get there without pain? Every gold medal, every world record, every life-changing breakthrough was born in the middle of a storm. Pain is the price of progress. But here's the difference. Most people run from it. Winners, they run through it because they know pain doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're building. Muhammad Ali once said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. That's what finishing feels like. Pain now, pride later. So the next time it hurts, don't stop. Lean in, because the struggle is the signal. Breakthrough is near. The start is exciting. The finish is fulfilling. But the middle, that's where the fight lives. The messy middle is where doubt shows up, where things stop being fun, where the grind gets real and the noise in your head gets loud. You're too far in to quit easily, but not close enough to feel the win. This is the no man's land of progress. And guess what? Most dreams don't die because they weren't possible. They die because people couldn't handle the middle. Think of any journey, writing a book, building a business, changing your life. The middle is where the motivation fades and the resistance rises. But this is where the real ones are separated from the wishers. If you're in the messy middle right now, good. That means you're close. That means you're growing. That means you've come too far to turn back. Stay with it. Don't bury your dream in the middle. Dig deeper and fight forward. Your biggest battle isn't out there, it's in here. Your mind will come up with every reason to quit. You're too tired. It's not working. You're not good enough. Excuses will echo louder than truth if you let them. But here's what you need to know. Just because your mind says it doesn't mean it's real. That inner critic, that voice telling you to slow down, to take it easy, to just give up, it's not truth. It's fear trying to wear a mask. You got to be louder than your doubts, sharper than your excuses. Remind yourself of the facts. You've made progress. You're stronger than you think. You've survived worse. You are capable of finishing this if you stop believing lies and start choosing discipline over doubt. You say you want growth, but your life is flooded with noise. Social media, notifications, endless scrolling, constant comparison, a dozen opinions from people who've never walked your path. You can't build focus in a world designed to break it. Growth requires environment. Progress requires protection. That means cutting out distractions and building systems that support your grind. You can't plant a seed and dig it up every 5 minutes to see if it's growing. You gotta protect the soil. Water it daily. Give it space to thrive. Same goes for your goals. Turn off the noise. Distance yourself from people who drain your energy. Create routines that guard your time, your focus, your fire. Because here's the truth, if you don't manage your environment, it will manage your outcome. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. But what separates the finishers from the faders is what they do after the fall. You missed a workout? Get back in the gym tomorrow. You broke your streak? Start a new one today. You went silent on your dream? Turn up the volume now. Falling isn't failure. Staying down is. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Every stumble taught you something. Every setback sharpened your edge. So stop living in guilt. Guilt doesn't change outcomes. Grit does. Get up. Dust off. Lock in. Let's stop pretending that finishing is easy. It's not. It's hard. It costs you. It stretches you. It demands more from you than you thought you had. But here's the truth. Finishing will cost you comfort, but quitting will cost you everything. Comfort is cozy now, but deadly later. Quitting may feel like relief in the moment, but it always comes back to collect in regret, in shame, in the quiet moments when you know deep down you gave up on something that mattered. The cost of finishing is pain, sacrifice, focus. But the reward? Growth, power, pride. The cost of quitting is invisible at first, but it spreads like rust, slowly eating away at your confidence, your belief, your dreams. So ask yourself, are you willing to trade short-term comfort for long-term greatness? Or will you sell out your future just to feel good for one more day? Because make no mistake, you will pay a price. The question is, which one? Imagine this. You're walking through fire. It burns. It hurts. But every step through it, it purifies you. It strengthens you. That's what finishing feels like. Now picture quitting. It doesn't burn, it decays. Slowly, quietly, it creeps in until you forget what it ever felt like to be passionate, driven, alive. When you finish, yes, it will burn. You'll sacrifice comfort, endure pressure, face doubt, but you'll come out forged in discipline. You'll come out sharper, stronger. When you quit, you don't just walk away from a task. You walk away from who you could have been. And over time, you stop trusting yourself. You stop dreaming big. Because that rust, it settles deep. So choose the fire. Because the fire is pain with purpose. Rust is decay with no return. There are two types of pain in life: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline hurts. It means doing the hard thing when you'd rather rest. It means pushing forward when your body says stop. It means saying no to distraction, delay, and the easy exit. But that pain, it pays you back with pride, with growth, with results. Regret is a different kind of pain. is heavier, longer. It lingers in your mind and weighs on your spirit. It shows up when the opportunity is gone, when time has run out, when you can't go back and finish what you left undone. You ever talk to someone who's been haunted by what they didn't do? Ask them which hurts more, the pain of the work or the pain of the wish. So I'll ask you right now, which pain are you choosing? Because there's no such thing as painless progress. You either pay now in effort or pay later in regret. Let's flip the script. You're not just working hard. You're not just grinding. You're investing. Every rep, every early morning, every time you choose action over excuses, it's a deposit into your future. You're not just sacrificing time or comfort. You're building compound interest in character, discipline, belief. You know what separates the great from the average? Great people think long term. They don't just count the cost, they count the return. Kobe Bryant spent hours in the gym while others slept. Serena trained through injuries when others would have quit. Those weren't losses, they were investments, and the return was legacy. So don't complain about the price today. See it for what it is, an investment in the person you're becoming. Because the greatest rewards don't come from ease, they come from the compound effect of choosing better again and again and again. This is the decision you face, right here, right now. You can either fight for your goals now, or you'll end up surrendering to your limits later. You can either push through the pain today, or bow to regret tomorrow. You can either battle through your excuses, or spend the rest of your life telling people why it almost happened. It's one or the other. You can't have both. And let me be clear, you don't get stronger by wishing. You get stronger by fighting. Every second you hesitate is a second your dream slips further away. So don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the stars to align, because the longer you wait, the louder the voice of surrender becomes. And you weren't made to surrender, you were made to finish. That dream didn't die, you just went silent. Let me speak directly to your heart. That dream, it didn't die, it's still there. You just stopped speaking life into it. You used to feel it deep, didn't you? That fire, that vision, that thing you said you were gonna build, create, become, but somewhere along the way, life got loud. Challenges showed up. Doubt crept in. The world kept spinning and you went silent. But here's the truth. Dreams don't die when they get hard. They die when you stop fighting for them. And today, I'm telling you, it's time to wake that dream back up. Don't you dare let time, failure, or fear convince you that it's over. You're still in the game. You're still breathing, which means it's still possible. What you started still matters. And the finish is waiting for you to rise again and claim it. Sometimes we quit because we think the finish line is too far. But what if you're just one lap away? What if the breakthrough, the reward, the pride, it's just past the next step? The problem is you've been running blind. You've been grinding without a vision. So stop for a moment. Close your eyes. Picture it. What does finishing look like? How does it feel to cross that line? To know you did it. You followed through. You didn't back down when things got tough. Visualize the celebration, the peace, the pride that hits when you finish something you almost gave up on. Every step you take now moves you closer to that finish line. Don't stop in the dark. Keep going until the light breaks through. Say it out loud. Right now, you've lived in maybe for too long. You've danced with almost like it was enough, but almost never changed a life, almost never built a legacy. From this moment forward, it's all in or nothing. No more waiting for motivation. You move anyway. No more justifying delays. You deliver anyway. No more saying, I'll try. You commit, you finish. This is not about starting strong. It's about finishing stronger. So write it down, burn it into your brain, carve it into your spirit. This time, I finish. This isn't just about finishing what you once started. This is about who you'll be from now on. Your future self is waiting. The one who followed through, the one who made it, the one who crossed the line and never looked back. You owe it to that person, to the kids who are watching you, to the people who are inspired by you even when you don't realize it. You owe it to your name. your purpose, your next chapter. The past, you can't rewrite that. But the future, you're holding the pen. And finishing this is not just about closing a project. It's about opening a future you can be proud of. You didn't start this journey by accident. Something inside you wanted more. Something inside you said, this matters. And maybe it's taken longer than you thought. Maybe you've been knocked down more times than you can count. But guess what? They finished, battered, bruised, scarred, but they finished. And now it's your turn. Let the world talk. Let the odds stack. Let the fear whisper. You're done listening to doubt. You're done with unfinished dreams. You're done almost making it. So go, lock in, push through, finish what you started. And don't just finish like a legend.